Welcome back. Welcome back to Madman with the Box. This is your Doctor Who comedy podcast. To underneath me, we got our co-host Oz Chris. To my right, your left, we got Professor Pixel and our guest tonight, Animated Concepts. Now, before we get into anything, we're going to let you know what's going to happen. What we're going to talk about is the Doctor Who news of the week, and we're going to end it off with Doctor Who Big Finish Productions' trial of the Valeyard. So let's get into it, everybody. Let's just get into it. I can't
get into it. Actually, before you say that, I have some big news. I just had to look at our number of our subscribers. 69.
Nice.
Yeah, we did it. Okay, as promised, we are now shutting down the channel.
Yeah, we're done.
The promised number. Yeah.
No more, please. Okay. It's only acceptable it's only acceptable if we get to 420 instead. So you people know the terms now. And the light went off.
Once we get to 420, we will have a special guest on, and we're just gonna smoke. That's just the whole stream. Nothing. Doctor Who might not even show up in the conversation. So, all right. So let's get into main topics. Let's go into the Doctor Who news. Woohoo! Yeah, cool. First
Are we going to talk
this
about
week?
Okay.
First up this week, we got Brokeback Mountain himself, Jake Gyllenhaal. Wait.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
No. Ryan Gosling. Brokeback Gosling himself.
Both white men. I could see where you got that the mix up.
Wearing a Doctor Who shirt that was just knockoff merchandise that he bought to support his co-star on Barbie, who just so happens to be the next Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa. So that's cool. That's really cool.
Yep.
Turns
the
out
artwork. Yeah, the artwork. Were you going to explain the artwork?
Yeah, go ahead. You can explain it. I don't care.
All right. So the artwork was made by a fan, and somebody stole it and put it onto the shirt and sold it. So that's unfortunate.
Thankfully, Ncuti Gatwa himself found this out and posted on his Instagram who the artist actually was, and everyone should go support him. Yeah. So far, Ncuti Gatwa is just a stand-up human being.
Yeah, exactly. Tell him to go support him, following him now. And the actual artist is actually selling the merch for charity.
Right here. Matthew Purchase.
Beside the devil. Yes.
Go purchase some of Purchase's work.
That's right. Double the purchase.
The purchase work. Yeah.
Not going to lie. I want the shirt. I want it.
I want it too. Do they sell it in size? Oh my God! Because otherwise,
I mean, you could ask, but
yeah,
I don't like your odds.
Also, it was confirmed by RTD that it was a real shirt and not someone just photoshopping stuff to make some Doctor Who news. And he was upset a little bit about it, saying, "Wow,
this
merch?
Is genuinely
really?
Ryan Gosling." Yeah, gotta sue him, of course.
We're suing him, of course. Illegal merch. Oh man,
no,
RTD
not Ryan
rules.
Gosling. He's literally me. You can't do that.
Hold up. Look at the right side. TARDIS and Daleks are both trending.
Yeah.
Is today a good day or what?
Well,
I don't know. The top trending is The Flash is airing on the CW. That's not good.
Well,
no,
Pixel
it wasn't
likes
good.
Trash TV shows. So.
I do not like The Flash at all. But anyway, well, yeah, no, I do like trash. Obviously, I'm talking about Doctor Who. That just has to be it, right?
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
That's the point. That's the point, Jimmy.
Yeah, but you do like the Sixth Doctor, so trash.
No. But actually, we should go ahead and talk about why the TARDIS is trending. It has gotten out to the news that apparently the new TARDIS interior, I suppose, is going to be accessible to wheelchairs. And as William Who here is saying, it was the wheelchairs not really necessary.
Why did they have to Photoshop the disabled sign onto the TARDIS?
Because that's how they would do it.
We get it. It's a Type 7. It's an older one. We understand. Okay, but you don't have to be mean to it as well. I mean, she's a kicker. She's running. She's fine. But also, I mean, we should have figured this was going to happen because there are videos of Wilf in a wheelchair going into the TARDIS.
I didn't know.
TARDIS was accessible anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's been accessible for a while.
Yeah.
Like,
No, they let the sixth Doctor in it.
Yeah.
Jesus, calm down.
I'm sorry. I'm on one today, guys.
Listen, a lot of this, from what I've heard, is coming from especially talk of the new companion for the Sixth Doctor, who is in a wheelchair. So it doesn't matter. Like, the classic interiors never had stairs. They didn't have stairs until the modern era. So
they had stairs. They had stairs with Tom Baker.
I'm trying to remember.
In the Victorian style looking one, they had about
the garbage stairs. One. Okay.
The secondary console. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, everything else was just.
It was 2 or 3 steps, something like that.
Yeah, but see, it's so forgettable. That one's so forgettable. Most of the classic interiors were all one level anyway. It's people.
It's not like the TARDIS is gonna. The TARDIS accommodates for every person that's in there. So it's not like the TARDIS is gonna be like, oh, you don't have legs, L. Like
exactly. The TARDIS is not a douchebag.
Big L for you. Like, it's gonna put ramps there or just keep the levels flat. Like,
I can't believe the TARDIS is ableist.
The TARDIS is ableist,
basically.
Because we all know Gallifreyans did euthanasia to their younglings if they were disabled.
You can't get on my level.
Come on,
literally.
I was confused. I think it was yesterday or the day before. There was a comment on our channel on Chris's review, who brings up the new companion, and all they did was shit all over that. Didn't talk about the story. Didn't talk about anything. Anybody who's reacting to this doesn't really care. They don't really care about anything to do with quality. They care because X, Y, and Z, and all of it is crap. So that is what I say on the matter. It really ticks me off that there are people reacting like this.
Professor Pixel's upset about something?
Yeah,
besides the companion,
the other
in
guy
that
might have a
story
point.
Is
just kidding.
The companion in that story is actually a really good character. So,
speaking of the new companion, Rose, played by Yasmin Finney, was in a show called Heartstoppers on Netflix, and I watched all of it this past week. By past week, I meant like past 2 days. It was only 8 episodes. And it was surprisingly done very well, and I want to see more.
You're just watching everything now, like anything that's connected to Russell in some way or Doctor Who. You're just like, I'm watching it.
You got a point, Chris? What's your point?
Not really. You're the biggest consumer.
I like quality content, and if it's not even to the highest standards of quality to my standards, I guess, then I just don't even bother with it. That's why Ms. Marvel, it's just out there. I don't watch it anymore. I just don't care. But
what did you like about it?
It was just boring. The only thing I'll tell you what I did like about it. The cinematography was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not Ms. Marvel. It's not even the same powers. She has different powers. You just totally wanted to be like was it Captain Marvel Jr. And that's the whole thing.
That's
it's
a
not what we're here to talk
conversation
about.
for something else, yes, because I could totally destroy that argument, but we're not going to get into that. Let's go ahead and talk about gangers.
Says the person who wants to change the conversation. Cool.
Yes. Gangers. I don't.
Hey, put up the first picture and let us look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. So remember the cum monsters from Series 6?
Mother's milk. Look at covered.
Come on now.
The ganger here.
And I like how they have I like how they have two different movie and TVs shows on the top left corner. Doctor Who, Monsters and Aliens. Two different things, but cool.
What?
Have you never seen Monsters and Aliens?
Do you mean Monsters versus Aliens?
It's the same thing.
No, they are two different things. That's the Monsters and Aliens from Doctor Who.
Oh, you don't know that. Because I don't think gangers... Hey, I don't think gangers are monsters or aliens, okay?
I mean, well, except for the main one that was the antagonist who became a monster.
That's different. The main point is, in about 200 years, you'll have from the video, from that episode, after 200 years, gangers will have their own rights and civil liberties.
Something like that.
That was a line from the show. Come on, guys. Give me credit.
They're very forgettable. Come on. Who really thinks about the cum monsters? Nobody thinks about the cum monsters.
The cum monsters are very cool. Okay? I like them.
Do they?
You heard it here first. Jimmy likes cum.
Okay.
No. Jimmy likes monster cum. Okay. No.
But there is so for those who don't know, this is a Doctor Who themed calendar. There was something wrong.
You didn't even finish it, Pixel. Thanks.
Yeah, we didn't even finish it. Bring it up. Bring it back up.
I'll bring it back. Jeez.
There is something wrong, but also right on that calendar. In the bottom right.
It's wrong, but it's right.
Yes.
It's wrong, but it's right.
Waiting on you, Pixel.
There you go. It's right here. It's right here. Jeez.
So it says first appearance. We don't want that one. Switch it to the other picture.
There's a picture that zoomed in. Literally the next one. Yeah.
Thanks. Gangers, first appearance in The Impossible Astronaut.
Now, the thing is,
yeah,
this is technically true because it's revealed that Amy that has been with them has been a ganger the entire time.
The entire time.
But the gangers made their proper debut in the Rebel Flesh.
But the ganger in that photo
is from the Rebel Flesh. So it never have they been so right, but also so wrong at the same time. Perfectly balanced.
I'll give it to him. Yeah, I'll give it to him.
Balanced as all it should be.
Yes.
Thanos is proud.
Thanos is very proud.
Oh man.
You've pleased Josh Brolin.
You've done a good job.
So I saw this
Your
today
work
and I
is
was
done.
like, it was funny. I saw this today and my first instant reaction was, wait, this is so stupid. And then I go, wait a minute. They got a point.
They're technically right, but they're also technically wrong.
So I don't know about what I'm about to show, but apparently this might have to do with the centenary that's coming up. That right here, there seems to be a broken roundel, whatever.
That's yeah. Okay, cool, Pixel. I'll take over, I guess. That is
Go ahead.
One of the panels from the broken TARDIS of Jodie's TARDIS, and it is said that it's just from that. But I when I read this, I thought it was broken because they dismantled when they were dismantling the TARDIS. They just like, we got to get it done as fast as they can. So they just, a lot of props. When I was in theater, we had to do hot sets. They're called hot sets, where you have to do like quick sets like overnight or like over 2 days. And so we didn't have time to dismantle everything with screws. So we just took like a giant sledgehammer, just broke crap down. So that could be just them destroying Jodie's TARDIS.
Maybe.
It could be.
It could be,
but it
could also be we're getting rid of the fucking horrendous design and getting a new one.
Yes! I like how it says $20 because I think that's still overpriced for a piece of Jodie's TARDIS.
Come on.
Just saying.
Come on.
I hate
the
honeycomb.
Design.
I hate the crystal honeycomb.
The spider legs. No.
It's truly one of the worst interiors ever.
No, it's definitely the worst interior ever.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't disagree.
Because think, what is other than like Jodie's TARDIS? What other horrible interiors have we gotten? Like all of them were unique and somewhat good in their own way. I can't think of another one where I go, you know what? I hate this.
I wouldn't say I hate it. It wasn't as good as the others. Was Baker's secondary one?
Really, I like that one. I like it.
Yeah.
It was the inspiration for the War Doctors. You didn't like the War Doctors?
That felt kind of lazy. It's just like, okay, we have two sets. Let's just put them together.
And claustrophobic.
Yeah.
You know what that's called? It's called money management. Okay. No, but I think the only one I wasn't really fond of was Sevens. I just didn't vibe with it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I can see that.
But you love the Sixth.
Because it's basically just fives.
You love it. You love it, Jimmy. That's what you just said. You love it. I can't believe you're just admitting how big of a fan you are. It warms my heart.
We can all agree that eights is amazing.
Yeah, eights is fantastic.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Tom Baker's secondary one. That was the inspiration for eights.
Yeah, but it's all
except it was done better. It wasn't just let's just make the
because they had enough American money to make it. It was a movie, Chris.
To be fair, they're wasting money making a secondary console when they still had one.
Right.
Like, we're saving money by spending more.
My favorite one is still 12-second console. Just have the library up there while the center still keeps that crisp, clean look. It's perfection.
The only thing I didn't like, so I love 12-second one. I love it, but I don't like how they took out the chairs near the console. Because there were some chairs there before that were like they looked good. And now there's no chairs, and if you ride this spaceship, you're only allowed to stand.
Well, I mean, you can go up to the library section.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah,
they always had just set to stand. It's not like, okay, just sit on the floor.
But Tenet had a chair.
Tenet had chairs, but they didn't really use them in flight, unless it was just him doing everything.
But the chairs are they're just there. They're pointless. So final bit of centenary news. Well, this is actually a bit from the latest issue of the Doctor Who magazine, where RTD, he writes out a whole thing. And basically he is saying that, well, Chibnall, his friend Chibnall is keeping silent because it's coming soon. He doesn't want to spoil it all for you. You have no idea what's going to happen. But
because we can only spoil if it's like over a year in advance away. But the closer it comes, that's when we can't talk about it. I love
It's
that.
not like the
idea.
marketing team is doing a terrible job.
I love it because he says, "Believe me, you know so little." Yeah, that's the fucking problem.
Exactly. That's the problem. Russell, we know, without knowing what's going on, we know too much.
Yeah.
Chibnall's giving us nothing. So,
you know what's good?
I don't think Chibnall cares.
I figured it out. What's lacking from what's good about RTD's original era compared to now? They filmed on location, and everything like Moffat and on. We haven't seen many on location anywhere. It's always like CGI in studio everywhere, and it just didn't have that realism feel. With RTD's era, he was out and about all the time, and we got to see locations, that anyone can go to, and it was great. And so it gave us that sense of this could happen in world, and we're more sucked into it. And Jody, I don't think there's an episode on location ever that I can think of. I mean, we got a place inside of a hotel, but I mean that could be just anywhere.
Yeah, I was going to bring that one up, but
exactly. Now we're in with RTD again, and guess what? We're filming on location. Who would have thought this would be a bad idea? No one. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I just think when it comes to Chibnall, he's done. He doesn't care. That's why they aren't going to Comic-Con this year, like San Diego Comic-Con. He said that no. Apparently the BBC wanted him to go with Jody and I can't remember Yaz's real name.
Mandip.
And yeah, there we go. And the Chibnall was like, no, I don't want to go. But there's talks that maybe RTD.
That's a good idea. It's a good thing he didn't go because we have so much good things happening. Why would they want to ruin it with Chibnall going to Comic-Con?
Jesus.
I'm just saying.
I want in anything that I care for, I want to be positive. I want to go into it. I want to feel positive. I want something to really succeed. I do. But Chibnall just does not. He doesn't succeed. And so it's time that he let go. He could go back to doing police dramas and the world will be a better place. But as for that, did you want me to bring up that one comment that you put into the chat, Jimmy?
Sure. Which one?
The one talking about Strange New Worlds.
Huh?
You don't remember?
Screw it. Bring it up.
Okay. William, who we've actually looked at a few of his tweets, posted this comment that he got saying, "Oh, love some positivity." Do you want to read it out, or I'm just going to sit?
No, go ahead. You know what, Chris? You got a lovely Australian accent. Go ahead.
You do.
Okay. Let's see. RTD is back to crank yanking BS, and you desperate, pathetic Whovians are willing to swallow hook, line, and sinker anything that pops out of his mouth in the slim chance it'll make your show even the teeniest bit relevant again. Doctor Who died with Matt Smith's departure, and it's been stinking pretty bad above the ground the past 6 seasons. Well, you're kind of half right there, but we've seen in 8 episodes the penultimate of TV SF perfection. I don't know what the hell STS and
Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds. If Paramount never made another episode of it, its first season would remain one of legend, not seen since Firefly, and yet so much deeper and better than that. We've seen the best. You Brits go ahead and keep your children's program gone woke, perverse. Hashtag so not interested. That's hashtag the Doctor is dead. Well, you kind of say that, and Star Trek's been kind of like, hey, here's some good stuff. Oh, here's Picard.
Technically,
Picard.
He's right, because we're all dead somewhere in time.
I'm already there. I
don't mean inside.
There's Picard. There's Discovery. Like Star Trek fans are not feast. Oh, there's what is it called? Deep
Lower decks.
levels, lower decks. The Star Trek fans aren't feasting right now. Well, I've seen so many heartbroken. Huh?
I'm the Star Trek fan here. Okay, like I love it more than like Star Wars, and it's probably my second favorite sci-fi thing. Well, that's not true. It's my third. Avatar is my first one, but Doctor Who, then Avatar. But Star Trek: Strange New Worlds is fantastic. Okay, absolutely fantastic. And if you don't watch it, give it a chance because it might change your mind. It is fantastic. Discovery and Picard is a different story.
Yeah,
literal. We are writing fan fiction, and Alex Kurtzman is approving it.
Yeah, and my favorite Star Trek thing is the original series. I just love that to death. So like when it comes to like messing with it a little bit, I'm like there, like I want to mess some people up if they try to mess with it. But
what's funny is they got 4 different shows going at the same time, and this guy's like, doing backflips because they got one right out of 4 from what I've been hearing.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not just they got it right. They got it so right. Like it's just it feels like classic Star Trek just brought to now. And like Anson Mount, who plays Pike, feels like the only person who could play Pike. And they also got Jim Kirk, James Tiberius Kirk's dad. I'm forgetting his name. But he's in it too. But the thing is, they don't focus on him because he's a Kirk. He's there like in the background every now and then and just shows up. They do it so well, and like it's beautiful. It's literally just like a beautiful show to lead into the original series. Everyone should give it a chance.
Yeah, no, I don't deny that. But going ahead and trying to weaponize the one good show you've had in how long has it been? Like 5 years? To go ahead and try to tarnish one that's having a revival in popularity. And as Marania says, I'm going to pull up the comment real fast. If it isn't relevant and not worthy of attention, why is he going ahead and posting about it? Huh? There's a sad subset of culture that feasts on hating, and they will use anything that they can to go ahead and try to hate on whatever project. And that's sadly just a case of what's happening here.
No, here's the thing though. I'm not defending this guy. This guy's an asshole. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But people should check out Star Trek Strange New Worlds. But here's the thing I wanted to talk about was this guy, I think he's just upset. Like, obviously he's upset. But I think he's upset that say the other 2 Star Trek things aren't actually his favorite thing in the world, so he's pissed off about it. So he's just taking whatever's built up about his favorite thing and throwing it on Doctor Who because it's now having a revival and it's brought to his attention, and he just can't get over Jodie or something.
Because apparently he was a fan at one point.
Yeah, but he dropped after Smith. He wasn't willing to go into Capaldi, which, in my opinion, is one of the best doctors of all time. But he wasn't willing to go into Capaldi, even give him a chance, and says, okay, this is the end. He's dead. He's not even the type of fan who's like, oh my gosh, a woman doctor? How dare they? No, he gave up because he didn't really care. He wasn't willing to stick it out.
An old man as the doctor? That's unheard of. I'm not watching this show now.
Bad news there.
No, like, I mean, look, the true Doctor Who fans are the ones who stuck it out through the Jodie, well, let's just say late Peter Capaldi bad episodes through all the way past Jodie Whittaker now. And are just getting the vindication of, yes, finally it's going to be coming back with a brand new sensation, brand new stories with great energy. A lot of people are having their eyes on it because David Tennant's returning, because RTD's returning, because Wilf, Donna, like all this stuff is just coming back and going to be flourishing with, and then leading into the 14th Doctor. Like it's going to be flourishing. Those are the real fans who get that vindication, not this guy who, wow, Peter Capaldi.
He's been out for a while.
I'm done.
Yeah, he's been out for a while. Man.
Yeah. He's retired, and so he should stay that way.
Whoa! Don't talk about Gervain like that.
Hey,
he's not the. Jeez,
hey,
Jimmy.
Look, Capaldi had a rough first year, but he had some good shots in there. I had some hope for Jodie in her first year, but
whoa!
it
You
clearly
didn't
went
like
down after that.
You didn't like Capaldi's first year?
I thought it was rough in the beginning. It's like my wife and kids were watching it, but they immediately got lost with it on that first episode. I think it was just a little too discombobulating for them, and they didn't get back into it until they did the one when they went back inside, when they went inside the Dalek, and then when Danny Pink came along. I just think they killed Danny Pink too quick, and that's when my family jumped off and left me alone again after that. And I was never a big fan of Clara. I just wasn't. I was never a big fan. I didn't like Clara when she was with Matt. To me, actually, that's when it kind of started sliding, is when Clara came on board. I just never really got her. But it's like, yeah, it's been a rough couple of years. There's no two ways about it. With Jodie, there was one or two. It was just like the Rosa one, my wife and I really enjoyed, and then there was the Amazon one, the Blamo or Slamo, whatever that one was about. Yeah, and then the resort one, but they wrapped up the whole I'm trying to think of his name now. The stepson and the grandfather. They wrapped up that storyline nicely.
Yeah, Ryan and Graham.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan and Graham. They wrapped it up nicely. It was like, okay, not the greatest thing in the world, but let's see. And then it just, after that, it was just like, what, huh? And not until that one Christmas special where they were in the warehouse, like going through the time loop, they enjoyed that one. But it's just been
New Year's, not Christmas, because we can't have Christmas specials anymore.
New Year's. Yeah, the New Year's one. Well, that's another thing. But
yeah,
the New Year's one, but it was just
thoughts.
like.
Here's some thoughts I think could have made our Moffat's era 10 times better. Is if they did one season per companion like RTD did, and then which that does also brings out a bigger span of characters, a cast that you could somehow maneuver and get them into different stories here and there, and it's just overall a good time. Because think about it, the whole cast of Moffat's era was with 11.
Yep.
It was Amy, Rory.
Amy and Rory.
Two and a half seasons. And then the other half of the season was Clara for another 2.5 seasons and the 12th Doctor. And then it was Bill for one season. And you know what? Bill is now a fan favorite. And she was only there for one season. And you know what? That just lets you know. One season companions work better in the modern era.
Now the Ponds, I'm a big fan of the Ponds, but I hear what you're saying. I think they got a little bit out of. They lost a touch a bit by relying on the Ponds.
Season 6, Part 2. After that, it wasn't.
Yeah. More apparent in Series 7, Part 1, where it's like, we really have nothing to do with them because they're leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I don't agree. I love Moffat, so I like companions that stick around for a while, that actually have room to grow. And yes, in season 7 they did wane because they were reaching their end, but I think their ending is I think it's a good way of ending it. And plus, I don't dislike Clara. I'm saying that I don't think her story is bad. So, but I do see where people can not be a fan of it.
But here's the thing: if they only did one season per companion, I don't think we would have got that huge, impactful episode like Heaven said. So
that's
if they had paid off Clara actually being a doctor, some future incarnation of the Doctor, I'd have been like, Clara's man. That's what they had. What was that one? It was the last one. It was the last one with Pink, where she basically was bluffing that I'm the Doctor. I was like, holy.
Yeah. Death
in Heaven.
Yeah.
If that had actually paid off in a real way, especially given how they exited out of the series, spinning around to this artist, I'd have been like, okay, she is the jam. But it's after that, I was just like,
I'm just gonna say that I do disagree with that to a level too, because
Shocker.
I feel that with her ending, with how she gets to where she is at the end, and she has to go back to Gallifrey, she has to be executed. Yes, it has to for the purpose of time. She is able to basically be immortal though, and live in that 1 second for pretty much ever with me. So her and me are going around. She is the Doctor, just not actually being the Doctor. And I prefer that to her being actually some secret future Doctor and just melding into it. Personally.
yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
sacrilege. Frog, Clara better than other new series companions.
RDV only likes Clara because she's hot. That's pretty much the only reason. So don't worry about that comment.
What's my excuse, Jimmy? What's my excuse?
You're always wrong.
Clara was hot though.
That's
you
not
would though.
wrong.
You're not wrong. Anyway.
Asylum of the Daleks.
I think Clara's hot. I'm just always I think Rose Tyler is my love. I love Rose Tyler more than.
Oh,
any
my
other
wife cannot
cast.
stand look at Rose Tyler.
Funny.
Divorce.
It's so funny
Divorce.
because
Divorce.
okay,
She does not
I know
like-
this is
She was like
blasphemy
a
for him,
bovine
but
looks.
out of all the companions, the one that I could not stand was Rose. I don't like her. I don't enjoy her anyway. I don't think she's a bad actor. I don't think the actress is bad. I don't think that the character is inherently bad. I don't like what they did with her and the Doctor. I'm not a fan of romance for the Doctor, so that just did not meld well. I honestly preferred Martha's longing for the Doctor, but the Doctor unable to give into that.
Pixel
He's
has a
not
wrong
able to.
opinion. Water wet.
But you see, water isn't actually wet. Water makes things wet. You think about that.
I'm gonna need more of these.
There you go. You want to bring us to the main topic, Jimmy? Come on.
Main topic. All right, so we're talking about Trial of the Valeyard.
Court is in session.
Let's start
Small note.
with Animated Concepts CEO, CCO, and person who writes everyone's checks.
And
Dre.
cleans the toilets. Don't forget that part.
I don't know how to think of that.
If you're hiring, I'm good at cleaning toilets.
Yeah, I'll keep you in mind. I think if
So
I
what's
got
your thoughts
a
on it,
man,
man? What's your thoughts?
Now this is on the trial of the Valeyard.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I actually enjoyed it a lot. I personally do not have anything against the Sixth Doctor because I've never really watched any of his episodes, even though Jimmy before the
Save
show was
yourself
trying
the
to woo
time.
me off of watching Trial of the Time Lord. I'm actually going to re-up on BritBox and sit down and watch through this because I really enjoyed this episode. Particularly, I enjoyed the Inquisitor Darkel. I thought the interplay with the interaction between her and the Sixth Doctor was pretty funny, and it really was just an engaging drama all the way throughout. Even the gentleman who plays the Valeyard himself, it seems like it's only the three of them throughout the episode, but they really managed to carry it all the way through, even to the point where I think what's her name, Linda Bellingham. Maybe you guys could help me out. Was she playing like the jacked up version, 13th version of the Doctor at that one point when he goes to the planet?
No.
Or is that somebody else different?
No, that's somebody
Completely
else.
Okay, somebody else.
So Linda,
Okay, well then I can't give her that. But go ahead. But I know she plays
Linda,
the Inquisitor in the first one, right? In the trial of a Time Lord. So
Yeah,
I
I
thought they
believe-
picked up.
Mhm.
But just real quick, I think they picked up almost exactly where they left off. That's why I want to go back and watch that series but I thought it was really good. I mean, from the plot to the characters, it being a first intro for me, really a first introduction to it. It intrigues me enough to go back to Trial of a Time Lord just to watch that to get some more of it. So I really thought it was good. Well done.
So Linda Bellingham, she does play the Inquisitor. Michael Jaston, he's a Valeyard. The Hermit, as he's credited on the mud ball that's orbiting the gas giant, is played by John Banks.
Okay, all right.
And now he's the 13th, well, the last incarnation of the Doctor, right? Or one right after 13 before and that's why they said he goes crazy, is because anyone after 13 would go crazy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that turned out to be just a Valeyard disguise. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole point of the story is the Valeyard telling the truth, or is he just making up a lie? Because they never outright state, "Oh, this is how I was created."
Because it feeds so much lore. It gives so much lore and expands upon it just for the Valeyard to say, but that's just one story. It's almost like the Joker in a way. You don't have a true origin.
Here's the thing. I didn't like the origin he told as the Valeyard. I didn't like the origin of the Valeyard. Because it gives credit and more reverence to the Timeless Child. A person from a different universe comes to our universe. He's an orphan. Exactly the same thing.
But the thing is, it's never guaranteed that he's telling the truth or not.
It's true.
Yeah.
One, it's true. It's one, a lie. Two, the person that was left on another world had Gallifreyan DNA. He was Gallifreyan. He was just lost on this one planet for some reason. So that doesn't give credence to the Timeless Child at all. But
I do, because you said that is just one story. You know, Valeyard's a really good liar. We all know that, right? What makes a good lie?
A little bit of the truth.
Yeah, a little bit of
the truth.
For the truth.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, so that means the truth.
That's the point of the whole, like, he had help.
Yeah.
Because someone believed him that he found a way to achieve immortality.
Yes, Tecteun helped him out.
No. Remember, this was before the Timeless Child.
Well, should we instead of not really helped him out, more pushed him along the way.
But here's what I'm going to say about that. I think the seed of truth, if there is one, really relies on the secret shadow houses, the Time Lords that regenerate wrong, one that isn't quite right. You can't get the face. It hints at the collective a little bit, right? Because the brain doesn't regenerate, but the rest of him does. It's all just that idea, a perverted kind of regeneration that they just shun away.
Yeah. Again, to show the Time Lords are shady and corrupt. Again, there is an again with the trial, it's an ulterior motive. It's not a trial. It's actually something else.
Yes, and there's two things. One thing I didn't like was that he said this is almost Orwellian. That's an English term that the Time Lords probably would not understand.
Okay.
And I don't think he should have said that. He should have said, I don't know, something along the lines of fascist, but in his own term, like Rassilonian or something like that. But what?
I can see what you're saying with that one.
Do you remember when the Sixth Doctor in Trial of a Time Lord, no spoilers, he does say, "This is barmy," and they have to take a moment. What does that mean? Oh, well, you see, barmy. The Sixth Doctor, he is so engrossed in Earth and culture.
That's a good point. He did say that, but then they did take the time to go, what does that mean? They didn't take the time to go, what does that mean in this? And it just felt a little off. But on the other hand, there was crap. We lost track. I had a second thing I was going to bring up, but it doesn't matter, I guess, because I forgot.
Bring it up.
I can't remember because I was gonna say it, but then we got off on this thing. It's no big deal.
I'm also going to say that for as limited as the cast is, it's absolutely brilliant. It doesn't feel like it's limited in a way just because of that. You have the jury and stuff, but like the factor they played before, they're just background. They don't matter.
I remembered.
Go ahead.
They brought up the Matrix for people who already die, which for me that went, oh crap! As we saw in Dark Water and Death in Heaven, they used the Gallifrey Matrix machine to use basically be like a Gallifreyan graveyard for anyone who dies. Their consciousness would be uploaded to this Gallifrey Matrix thing, which I went, that's cool. They brought that up again. I really, really liked that. Now, the thing I really didn't like about this episode was about the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes. The banter between the judge and the doctor was so dense and unneeded. The plot didn't move along. The story didn't move along. It seemed like the doctor was just bantering around because that's what the Sixth Doctor does. I feel like the writing should have been a little bit kept up on that. But once we got into the plot of the trial and figuring and trying to figure out what's truth and what's not truth, and then going into the plan, it was tremendous, absolutely fantastic. But that first 20 minutes, I really actually was getting annoyed because anytime someone would say something, the doctor had to come in and throw out words just to prove he's smarter than everyone, but not. It didn't feel like the doctor. It felt like just someone doing fan fiction of how they think the Sixth Doctor would think.
I'd feel like it's because of what happened to him last time on a trial.
Yeah.
And he's not taking it. He's not taking it seriously. He probably knows they have ulterior motives, and he's there not of his own free will. And he's defending someone who, last he saw, wanted to kill him, and is his future evil self. So it's him not taking it seriously, and as always, being a rebel to Gallifreyan society.
Well, what it was him yelling. He was thinking, if I yell louder, I'll win this argument. That's what that conversation felt like.
Well, it wasn't an argument, really. It was him saying, I don't want this.
But what it literally, what I'm telling you, what it felt like. It felt like a guy, if he yells louder, he thinks he wins an argument. That's what that first 20 minutes felt like. But once he let other people talk after that, and there was actual dialogue going on between the whole cast, I was sucked into the story so much. And you know what, Pixel? It was a fantastic Sixth Doctor story. There you go.
All right, so I'm gonna say this because I'm with Chris on this one. So as a guy who does this, when it comes, this is why I enjoyed the first 20 minutes. When you know that somebody's effing with you, it's like, nah, son, I'm not doing this. It's like I'm just everything you say, I'm gonna shoot down, I'm gonna slap down, because he's still mad about what they did to him when he was 2. That's what this is really about. He's still mad about what they did to him before games. The previous trial, you had me with that. You made me watch my best friend. You made me watch one of my good companions die. Oh, he got a lot of pent up anger.
They also did force him to fight in the Time War with Genesis.
Exactly, and he knows that the only reason why I'm here is because you're up to something. You're up to something. So I thought that the banter was. I think to me it was reflective of just how much pent up frustration and what he felt was unresolved issues he had with the Time Lords based on what they did to him last time and in previous encounters, especially in the trial context.
Here's the thing about that. When you write a story, you shouldn't be able to do that. You should be totally understanding of what's going on. Because of how dense it was, the first 20 minutes felt like it went on forever, and you lost track of what's actually going on, other than they want him to be the guy to represent the Valeyard. Other than that, I didn't understand what was going on. You could have wrote it to where your opinion was, what you brought up was correct. They could have done that, but it wasn't written.
I think they relied too much on. I think you being familiar with the trial of a Time Lord. I I think if you had watched that season, and especially the length of that season, would understand, which is probably why I haven't gotten through it before. The length of that season, it makes sense because it kind of serves almost as a direct sequel to that season.
It is, 100%.
And I think that's the mistake that sometimes with writers will do. They'll make what the story is. They will presume that the audience already understands. Oh, this is why he would react this way, and would almost justify this length of a response. So I'll give you that part, definitely.
You know what? I also agree with you a bit. They should have made it to where it was like what Stan Lee said. Every comic book is someone's first comic book. They should have made that for this. And Sean brings up a good point, saying this was released before Dark Water and Death in Heaven. I didn't know that.
It was.
I didn't know that. So Stephen Moffat could have went back on it. Either way, it's still cool that they kind of entwine a little bit.
So when they're talking about the Matrix, they're talking about the Matrix that he was in before, like the Matrix store.
Yeah.
That's what he was in the season 23.
100%. But they specifically brought up the point of like the Matrix for like when people die. They specifically brought that up too, and so I thought that was like entwined, and it was really cool.
I am going to go ahead and say that when this came out, I believe it was during the year where content was being released for the 50th anniversary. So this touching upon that at this time, it feels reasonable to me that they would act as a direct sequel. And Sean is kind of right. Most Big Finish stuff is made for the super fan who loves Doctor Who content so much that they're willing to go into different avenues for it.
No.
There was a lot of call outs in this. There was a lot of call outs in this episode.
There was.
I mean, there was a lot of call outs in this drama.
Big Finish is made for a Doctor Who fan. This specific episode was made for a super fan.
There were a lot of references, a lot of call outs. I
didn't get a few of them, but for the most part, I got a lot of them. There was a crap ton.
Polly, what a nice girl.
Oh fake the hermit. Yeah, just Polly.
All of it.
I'm the foreman.
Chris.
Yes, foreman.
We haven't even got we've talked about it a little bit, but we didn't bring it up. When he goes to that mud planet place and he meets and he meets that 13th-ish in quotations carnation. It felt like if the Sixth Doctor himself was his last regeneration. And like if he regenerated and it just happens to be him again, it felt like this is that guy if he was that incarnation.
I mean, to be fair, I don't exactly get that reading, but to be fair, the Valeyard is specifically targeting this version of the Doctor, so that kind of makes sense. Oh, what a lovely coat! I had one just like it yesterday, or tomorrow, or Tuesday.
I want another Valeyard story, man. Like I just want another one.
Luckily there's more. There's the Last Adventures, which is to lead up to the Sixth Doctor's regeneration. Valeyard goes up against him against 4 different times. There's also
you're on that one. You got to get it.
I mean, I have it.
When I get a paycheck,
I
have it if you want.
I'm never spending money on a Sixth Doctor story ever. So that was the Pixel.
There's obviously, which I've covered already, He Jesset Scars, the What If the Valeyard won. That's a fantastic story.
We got to do that one sometime soon. That sounds badass.
And then during the 8th Doctor's Time War series, the Valeyard comes back.
The War Valeyard.
The War Valeyard.
What's the one, the Celestial Toy Maker? Is that Celestial Playground?
There's the Nightmare Fair.
Nightmare. What? No. Isn't there a Big Finish one with?
Yeah, there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them. Yeah. There's the Nightmare Fair, which is a Sixth Doctor lost story. There's Solitaire, which is the 8th Doctor companion Charlie with the Toy Maker, and then there's Magic.
Whoa.
Which is Solitaire.
Is the 8th Doctor in that?
Actually,
yes, no. But he's voiced by Charlie.
That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame.
Because, well, it's Companion Chronicles. The Doctors aren't supposed to be in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about the
But
companions. Yeah. And
but
then
it's
there's Magic. Then there's Magic Mousetrap, which is Seventh Doctor against the Toy Maker.
Ooh, that
But-
sounds cool.
I listened to that recently for the video I'm making.
Is it good?
That's actually that's an interesting one.
Oh, but you're making
The toy maker's in it, but he's not really in it.
Was
He
it
does
the,
not
was
have
it the
he does not have a voice actor, but someone does play him.
Jeez, Chris knows how to go ahead and up a mystery.
I know. I'm thinking about how they would do that, and I have no fucking idea. No
Yeah.
idea.
That being said, Solitaire, solid. It is truly one of the best audio plays that they have made.
We gotta do one for the Toy Maker because it's kind of hot. But we also got to do another one.
I
for
mean, he
Valeyard
is kind of
because
hot.
I mean, if
Well,
it's Neil
yeah.
Patrick Harris, yes, he's kind of hot.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yes, that's
so
right.
Are we gonna go over rankings now?
Have we all given our thoughts?
I thought we did.
Well, I'll just say
Chris,
this. I just want to touch on what Pixel said about this being done. I think it was was it like the 50th? Something was
50th?
2014.
Yep, 50.
Yeah, for the 50th. It does the drama does do a very good job of throwing enough in there that it makes you want to go look at other Doctor Who stuff. It's like for me, it was like there was enough going on in there. That's like, oh, let me check that out again, or what's that about? So I went and looked up a bunch of things about this episode and this drama, these characters afterwards. I thought it was really well done, and in that sense. And I do think that the Hermit guy makes sense in terms of feeling like Jimmy was saying, feeling like the last reincarnation of Six, because the whole point of it is, it seems like Six just wants to know, am I this dark? Can I go this dark? Seven comes along and actually arguably is the darkest of the Doctors, and then you start to see hints and flashes of that in 10 and 11, where it's like, and it really doesn't resolve itself with 11, the fact that, well, actually even 12, because 12 is the one who finally accepts the fact he actually is a good man. Like, you know, he's not this terrible he's not this terrible individual that River Song hints at if he doesn't watch himself. And 7, in a sense, makes it 7 in the War Doctor. In the War Doctor, I think it kind of makes the Doctor feel like he's going someplace he really doesn't want to go. That's something that's really overarching. And you see the beginnings of all that here, which I think was really, I'm not sure how intentional that was, but it kind of like you see it feels like Davies and Moffat went back to 6 and this kind of thing with the Valeyard and worked that into the revival stuff. So that's why I think makes this
like
you made a good point.
Especially with the Valeyard, like there's a 7th Doctor novel that establishes, like, when he thinks back on his previous incarnations, he has this 6th incarnation, like, figuratively in his head locked up because he does not want to become the Valeyard. But then he has to learn to accept, okay, we are all the same person. Like, I can't just keep one aspect of myself locked away because I'm afraid of the future.
You did bring up a good point, which was it was that idea of, can the 6th Doctor go this far, go that dark? And he had to figure out if he could. And that made me think why I liked. Give me 1 second. That made me think why I liked this episode, especially the 6th Doctor in this episode, past 20 minutes, obviously. But it's because he gave the 6th Doctor a redeemable trait that I personally have not seen before this. Someone who it really showed, I don't want to be this dark. I want to be good. That made me like him in this more. Because, I mean, like, think about it. Everyone loves Batman. Everyone loves Batman. He's dark, gritty. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Batman. I'm a Superman fan. I like the characters who are hopeful, who want to do good for the sake of doing good. I love that. So if a character doesn't have anything like that, and he's supposed to be a hero, I just can't get behind him that far. And that's why, personally, the 6th Doctor isn't really one of my favorites. But this one, it really did show a redeemable trait like that, which is why I liked him in this.
Yeah, which is what the Valeyard uses against him. That the Valeyard uses against him. That he uses that definitely uses that against him. This idea that he really is just like, nah, you know, I think he kind of realizes he's a bit of a douche. I think he realizes he's abrasive, he's a bit of a douche, and he's just like, man, this is the first. To me, it feels like this is the first time he's thinking, man, is what some of the people been saying about me really true? And it's like, nah, I can't be that bad. And then you see the person sitting in front of you that's supposedly the representation of that, it's just like, whoa, wait a minute now. So yeah, I thought for an hour, 10 minutes, there's a lot to unpack here. So and to be like 7, 8 years ago, well done. But whoever brought it forward. Yeah.
And if you listen to the interviews after, the team was just so thrilled, and they talk about how it's been how many years and we come back and it's all natural. And I have to agree with how they feel about Michael Jaston. Just his whole tone, his way of speaking to the doctor.
And I'm glad you brought that up because when I listened to it the second time, so I listened to the interview and I had looked something online, is that he didn't record it along with the other actors. So for it to come off with that interplay, with him not actually having the other people to bounce off or react to, either he did an excellent job. I tip my hat to him and to whoever edited and put the drama together, because they did a great job. I would have thought the three of them were in the room. That's what I liked about the banter between Six and the Inquisitor. But for him not to be there and for it to come off, particularly some of the moments between him and the Sixth Doctor, I'm like, that's great stuff.
That also shows how smart he is as an actor and being able to understand the emotion of that particular script. Good on him, because I didn't know that. But you telling me that, holy crap, good. He's great.
If I ever listen to it again, which I probably will, I'm going to have to listen for that, because it didn't feel that way at all. It felt absolutely natural. I knew they were apart for the interviews because you can tell, but I didn't know they were apart for the actual reading. Holy crap.
Yeah, apparently he was on another show, and that's why he couldn't be there for the recording, if I remember correctly. But I was like, so we can do the rankings. I know what mine's going to be. It might,
Yeah, you go ahead.
I think mine is going to be 9 on this one. Only because I give Jimmy, I deduct, if we're going from 10, I deduct 1 point, because I agree with Jimmy. If you're not a first timer, it is super fanish. It is super fanish. And I'm like right below the super fan line, so I can hang in there a little bit. But other than that, I think based on the drama itself, the quality of the acting, basically, apparently the amount of material in it that basically seemingly is informed the revival series. I have to give it a 9 based on that.
Okay.
All right, Pixel, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, it's very hard for me not to go to 10. I think I would go ahead and give it a 9.5, just because of how, while the story is finished, there's so much left unanswered. At the same time, there's you get a feeling at the end of this with the Doctor almost sounding like he's accusing the Inquisitor of maybe being involved, being the secondary partner to the Valeyard's plan. There's supposed to be more.
I mean, they did that. They did that as well in trial. Yep. It's like he also kind of accused her, like, kind of seems like you were working with it.
Well, I think.
Hold on, that one she wasn't. It was mainly just there was the High Council being shady. She was just there. Although it's revealed in the Gallifrey series, she took the trial in order to raise her popularity because she's also a politician.
Okay. Well, I think, I'm talking myself into it again. Even alone, this story is so great that it is a 10 for me. I hadn't seen Trial for more than a few years when I first listened to this, but somehow still it all clicked for me. It was all still perfect. And so it is a 10 out of 10 for me. This is top tier Doctor Who. and top tier Big Finish for me.
Wow. 10 out of 10. I can't believe I'm saying this, but you're wrong again. But no, I got to give this.
Come on, 8, Jimmy, 8.
I want to give it an 8. Maybe an 8.5. But because of how much I hated the first 20 minutes, I'm going to give it a 7.5, but like a high 7.5. Like it's close to being an 8 pixel. Close to being
so a 7.9.
It's a 7.9.
The 7.9. There you go. I can't give it a full 8. This is 7.9. But
Sure.
I love.
Give it an 8, Jimmy. Come on. It's an 8.
Okay, it's an 8. It is definitely an 8, without a doubt.
There we go.
But
There we go.
I can't give it any more than that because it's just that
That's
first
fine.
20 minutes. I was listening to it and I started to text the group chat and I was like, this is fucking horrible. Like, I hate this so much. And then after that, and then once it got past that and I started to get into the story, I really liked it. And I texted the group chat going, I was like, now we're getting to the juice. This is going good now. So it's an 8. It's an 8. It's a good 8.
All right. Chris?
All right, me. So I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10.
Oh,
It is. I'm not going to give it a full 10, mainly because you probably would have had to watch Trial of the Time Lord to really understand this, like the relationship between every character here. But I thought it was amazing. Absolutely love it. Michael Jaston as the Valeyard. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's absolutely fantastic. And like again, like even like Jimmy bringing up a good point. It's like the Sixth Doctor reflecting in like the second half. Like it's like I want to be a good person. Like that's who I want to be. I don't want to be this dark, evil man. That's my supposed future. Like I didn't even really realize that until you brought it up. And I've listened to this more than you, Jimmy, 2 times. So thank you.
Right, I listened to it
But
once.
yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic story. Absolutely love this. It's great work.
There we go.
And the High Council, they're just some devious SOBs. The
High Council is always shady.
Oh
man,
you can't be that. And Sean, he's agreeing here. It's a 10. There you go. And I can't speak for Landry, but I'm speaking for Landry. He has like 3 different rankings for this episode.
Really? Wow.
No, I'm
always
kidding.
does
I'm
kidding. 3 rankings, dude. He always does 3 rankings.
Okay.
2 or 3. He can't rank anything on its own. He has to add a level.
Thanks, guys, for inviting me on today. Yeah, thanks for inviting me on today because I would not have discovered this episode otherwise, this drama otherwise. So I actually went ahead and ordered it already. But I really enjoyed this. Yeah, I'm going to be picking this one apart for a while. And,
I forgot to say, my favorite part of this was actually something the Sixth Doctor did that was actually funny. Like, I was surprised I laughed at it. Was the part where he kept saying Rassilon and they kept having to revert and erase the tape.
Classic. Oh, yes.
Ravelox.
So good.
We're talking about Ravelox.
I just want to clarify.
Just so I'm clear, are we talking about...
We're talking about Ravelox.
That was classic.
That was so good.
He's pushing their buttons. He's like, you know the truth. We literally went through this in a different trial that you tried to screw me over on. Like, don't try and hide this shit. This is integral to this trial now.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's it. Next week,
we're doing.
Next week, what are we talking about next week, guys? I think we talked about it, but it blanked my mind.
It's a seventh Doctor TV story. Delta and the Venga Boys. I'm sorry, the Bannerman.
Oh, Jesus God.
Bannerman. Delta and the Bannerman.
No, we are doing a 7th Doctor story, though.
Yeah, it's that. Delta and the Bannerman.
That's it.
Oh, that's it? Okay. I thought you were joking. Okay, cool.
No. He was joking about the Venga Boys.
We'll see you next week for the one of the Scots. And have a good one, everyone. Alonzi.
All right, take care, everybody.
Geronimo. Fuck.